Unfortunately, this concept is usually teaching in qigong or in martial arts, but how many people are interested about martial arts? It's very small percentage of people. So my aim is bring this knowledge to everybody, because everybody deserves to understand power of expanding and condensing.
Welcome to The Reframe, from the couch to the conversation. I am your host, Rebecca Molman, trauma therapist turned coach. Today, I am excited to share with you Tibi Morovic. He comes to us from the UK and has been a lifelong student of both hard and soft martial arts, dance, and Russian sistema. He translates his knowledge in these areas to practical application on a mental, physical, and emotional level. Today, he will be talking with us specifically about the principle of contraction and its relationship to tension or stress, expansion's relationship to accessing relaxation and flow, and the importance that both of these forces have in our lives. We start with being aware of these two opposing forces, then work on tools to develop our relationship with both. So without further ado, Tibi Morovic.
Thank you for being here, Tibi. And I am so interested to find out how you take the framework of constriction and expansion together as a lens to understand not just the human body, but the human mind, and connection to spirit, connection to earth, connection to all things, but really through this lens of contraction and expansion. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about that.
Okay, thank you to invite me. I'm glad that I'm here, open to share this knowledge. So expansion and condension is two directions of one force which is going across all universe. It is going across our body, mind, and spirit. It affects the quality of our body and its quality of our emotions and everything. So let's firstly see the physical body, how it works. So firstly, we have three directions of our physical body through which is going expansion and condensing. The first is like balloon. Yeah, like I have these rubber gloves, and if I blow it in. So same can happen with my arm, but it doesn't happen like this, but I visualize this expansion like a balloon, and it actually happens somehow. Yeah, this quality which I visualize, this going to happen. Yeah? So visualization is a very powerful tool, which is in my opinion very underestimated. So if I take a finger, you can go with me, and if I visualize that the finger is growing like a balloon, like, or other visualization is that it's rising like a dot of bread. So look at your finger, or you don't need to look at it, but let your consciousness flow into the finger and visualize that it's growing. It is growing and is still bigger and bigger and bigger. And now, if you visualize it very strongly or strongly enough, you can feel that there is different quality between this finger where your consciousness flow in and which you visualize, and between other finger where you don't put the same energy. So this finger, I don't know, Some people feel like warm or something like flow in, or that they have any feeling. So this is one direction. Then we can have meditation that we let expand 2 fingers, 3 fingers, all hand, forearm, chest, head, and basically all body. If we do this kind of meditation, there is very important that if I start with one finger, I spend the time with one finger that I have the feel the quality. And then when I want to do second finger, I keep quality in first finger and I let this quality going to second finger. And always when I add other part of body, I need to firstly put a lot of attention to keep the quality. So this is expanding, and all my body start like expanding. And it's good to visualize with this quality also lightness, yeah, like a balloon, like a hot balloon. It is not just expanding, but this whole body is also lighter, and we can do through all body. And the body on the end will have different quality. Despite it's just the visualization, but the quality is different. I explain soon with other kind of expanding. Then we have condensing, so something shrunk like if you eat a lemon, so in the mouth you're like, so the opposite is the shrunk. And again, we can go with one finger and then with all body. And if we're doing expanding and condensing, it's important to make all the scale expanding bigger. So we are learning switch from expanding to condensing. So I'm not focused just for expanding, but I also focus for condensing, because I'm not going moving just this and I'm moving this, and you compare both quality, and then you start to feel it. Then you start to feel the quality. So and actually I forgot to tell you that how we can use it. So stress is one of the worst thing what happens today, and I think that is the reason of the most of civilization illnesses is stress. And stress is condensing power, so it squeezes us, it makes us smaller, and it creates also tension. And it's not just stress, but it's also fear and other emotions which is under condensing power. And if we are squeezed and if we are stressed, then it's very helpful if we are able to expand. So expanding is the first aid. When you realize that you are stressed, then just expand. And in expand body and mind, there is not space for stress. Yeah.
So the
So this is
antidote almost.
yes. So there is many things how to cope with stress, many approach. I don't say that other ways. Stress is such complex problems that, of course, the time management is good, and what we are drinking and how we sleep, at training, etc. There is many relevant aspects, but for me, one of the most important is this: be aware of expanding and condensing power. So therefore is very important to be aware of this power. So we have balloon quality, which is going from middle of our body out. Yeah, it can be from bone and it's going through the flesh and through the skin, and it can going the quality can go even out of the body. The visualization can go further than the body. It doesn't need to stay on the skin. Then we have expanding, like if you want to touch something something really far away. Yeah, very good visualization and exercise. This exercise, I would call them kind of meditation, is that you try touch somewhere as far as possible. I do it now just with one arm such that you can see. So I try touch far this. So that's mean that my fingers are are straight. The fingers are like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is I have not enough desire to touch. So fingers must be all my arms is like a rope. And I try to touch even more and more. Let's say that for every millimeters you will have $1,000. Yeah, so you really try. And usually if people try, they do it, I don't know, let's say for 20%, and you realize that you can try even more for 30%. And if you do it for 30%, then you start to feel that your tendons and ligaments on your fascia becomes pull, and you then go for 40%, and then 40% or 50%. It starts to be very um, it's like strengthening, like if you're going to the gym and you take heavy weight, so you can start to feel pain like if you are going really to the gym. 60%, 70%, it can be very painful, and I wouldn't go from beginning more than 80% for a couple of seconds, and then you relax.
So
So
Tibi,
this is
are
power
you
to.
are you imagining like your arms stretching out that distance of like 80 people? You're using the power of visualization. Is that correct?
Yes, it's power of visualization. But usually with this visualization, if we start working with this power, we are not aware and we cannot focus our power. So the visualization is not strong. Visualization on the beginning is quite small. So if you practice it more, you can put more visualization. But you can still visualize more. So if you're starting on this 20%, you visualize more and even more, and you adding more and more willpower to expand more.
So
It makes sense?
you're exercising your ability to expand through visualization, and the two different ways that you've shared with us that we could do that using the physical body is through bringing your consciousness and awareness into, say, your finger, or try like imagining that you're stretching, expanding to the length of X amount of people.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
is
okay.
length from the core, can be from chest through the arm, or can be from tummy. It can be diagonal, can be different direction. And if you feel the pain through your arms and through your joints, that's the pain when you strengthen your tendons,
Mm,
ligaments, that means joints, and also fascia. So normally, if we're going to the gym, we're strengthening our muscles to contract, which is also kind of condensation power. So then when we're going from the gym, we are shrunk. Oh, look how nicely tense I'm shrunk. Look at my biceps. I'm very stiff. That's great. But healthy body is relaxed. Healthy body is smooth. And we can strengthen our tendons and our ligaments, what we don't do. So this kind of strengthening we miss at all,
hmm.
to make strong joints such that all body is holding together stronger but is more relaxed. Yeah. So this is firstly we have balloon, then we're going from center to the periphery and we expand different direction. And then the third direction is from the ground to the sky. And this is very important because gravitational power always pull us down. So we are always under stress of gravitational power, and we can go up. And if I pull myself against gravitational power, yeah, then I have less pressure to my disc between vertebrae. I have less pressure to my joints. I have less stress to my disc, less stress to my joints. So I share my body weight in pull. So I'm not just in push, but I'm also in pull. What we call tensegrity. So tensegrity can hold our power in two ways, and therefore we are lighter. So it can be our body mass can be holding in compression and bracing, or tension and hanging. So if I'm able to hold my body mass, let's say 40% in in um, in tension, in hanging, that means that I have about 40% less pressure to my joints. So if somebody coming that has like tension in the back or a problem with disc, my first advice is expand to the sky and strengthen your tensegrity. Tensegrity is very important, and most of people has very weak tensegrity. It's like if you have a tent has ropes, so the ropes can be strong and can be pulled. Then tent is strong. But when you cut off the ropes, the tent is like this. Do you know what I mean?
Do you find that there is resistance that people have to engaging with expansion exercises, whether it's physically, mentally, or spiritually, that there's internal resistance to stepping into a more expanded state?
Yeah, there is also mental thing, because I don't know, like most of bosses don't like if somebody is expand.
Yeah.
I tell you, when before I was doing just Chinese martial arts, and I was Chinese martial arts. People are quite grounded and rooted. So it's like the energy is flowing down. Yeah, it can be Tai Chi or Wing Chun or any Chinese system. So the energy is going very deeply down. Qigongs, etc. And when I start to do the Slavic martial arts, which is working with the uplifting power, with inner fire, from this position, I become like this. And people told me that you used to be so nice guy, and suddenly you are arrogant. I say, I'm arrogant. I didn't say anything. Yeah, but your posture is like arrogant. So the people think that if we are straight and we are nicely open and uplifting and expanding to the sky, that we are not bending enough. So lots of bosses which has a problem with ego, they're like if their workers are like this. Yes, yes, of course, yeah. So this, and if you start to be nice, straight, then they think that you don't respect them or something like this. So it is going down. Our body position is quite linked with. So therefore, many people that they want to be like nice to boss. So yes, so they are like rather like this, and boss is happy because I respect his authority. And if I'm like this, maybe boss think that I don't respect him. Even it's not true. I just want to be happy, and I just want to be full of energy. So how it works, according the tradition, because where this knowledge comes from. The expanding and condensing power I met in two different concepts, and one is Chinese qigong, not all qigong, but one of them, which called Yiling Chuan. I'm learning from Master Sam Chin. It is that yin tissue. That means that's tissue which closing us. That is sucking, is condensing into tantiem. Yeah? So
Dantian.
tantiem is somewhere here, and it's condensing this way, like sucking in. Yeah, and from other part of the back, from Migmen, is like fontaine is expanding, and it's expanding through the young tissue. Okay, so it's sucking in and expanding is the circle through the body like this. It's not motion, but it can support our motion. Yeah, and it is. I can show it on the hand. So this is the neutral hands, and now I have not any sucking, any condensing or expanding energy. So if I push my finger, the quality of my hands is like this. But now I have same shape, but I activate condensing power. So I activate this yin tissue, and if I push it, it is like this. Now I activate expanding for this young tissue, and I expand the young tissue, and I push. Happens something like this. So neutral, condensing, expanding. You see that my hands react differently, has different quality. Despite on the beginning has up exactly same shape. So normal people cannot see it. But if coming the power, that it's different quality, and all body is like this. Yeah, so this is one thing. It makes sense?
Yeah, so the inside, you were saying the Dantian, so the inside front, just for the people that might be listening rather than watching, the front aspect of the body is pulling, condensing, contracting, and the outside of the Dantian on the back is expanding, and you're applying that as above, so below, right? So the you're using your hand, and the inside of the hand, if you're going to cup it just a little bit, is that yin side, or the contracting side, or the submission side, or the inside is the condensing side, right? Where the
Yes.
outside is the expansion side. So as you put pressure from the front with your finger, you can either it'll have a neutral effect, or it'll curve down around the pressure from the front, which is more leaning into the condensing aspect. Or if you expand on the back side when there's pressure from the front, then much like you would with your back on your physical body, then it has a different impact, or different response to the pushing of the finger. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not movements. It's the quality which is pre-set up, or it can help us to move.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, to stand up, I need this amount of the power. Normally, we're using just muscles. For people what don't see, it's 100% of power. I use muscles. But if I can control my expanding and condensing power, maybe I use just 50% of the muscles, and the 50% of the power I using expanding and condensing of my body. And the most expanding and most condensing is probably fascia. Fascia is the tiny membranes which is connecting all our body. Now scientists know that fascia is very important and is like a cling film, and our muscles are wrapped into the fascia, or our skin is stick to the muscles with fascia, or our organs is wrapped and holding inside. And fascia is very sensitive for our emotion or for our mind, for our consciousness. And it is so fascia. For example, I'm happy, I'm relaxed, and suddenly something happened, something shoot outside, and immediately all my fascia and all my body shrunk, condensed. Or I'm sitting down and I'm watching TV and my team give goal and I expand. So it's going very close, expanding and condensing with emotions. And normally our fascia and our body is expanding or condensing according our emotions. But we can control it straight away without emotions. Yeah, I uh, uh, I was making a course of anatomy trains, and then I asked the teacher that if we can control quality of fascia. No, straight no, but if we can control the emotions, through the emotions we can do it. But we can do it straight away with our consciousness, that I focus and I visualize the expansion or I visualize the condensation, and this is going to happen. What I visualize, this happen. Yeah. And so we have qigong is one source, and then is in Cossacks tradition, and there is working. It is working a little bit different because it is working like any part of body can be expand and any part of body can be condensed, and we are expanding also to the sky like a balloon, and it's uplifting us. Yeah? So it is, and the balloon and the power is growing because we have inner fire. I call it inner fire because it's easy to visualize it. All of us know fire, and we know that water flows down and fire flows up. And on the end, we are pulled between these two qualities. We are like a ropes between hot balloon and the big basket. So our body is like this. So this is body without expanding power to the sky, and this is body with expanding to the sky. So it lifts me up and it makes me lighter. So tensegrity can be built up two basic ways, and one is that with muscles or with tendons. What makes me lots of effort, or with relaxation, and I let the inner fire lift me up, same like the hot balloon is lift up. Yeah. So then lots of people have problem to stay straight. Yeah, like lots of people have like this, like the duck neck. This is, yeah, and then have problem with the neck and back. And I used to tell people like this, like head up and stretch. So they do this, but they do such that they tense up the neck muscles from the back side, and they keep tension here to keep them straight. But of course, these muscles, which hold me straight by muscles, they are not construct to working normally. So after a while, they have very stiff neck, and it was very hard for them to be straight using the muscles. But other way how to do it is that if I have neck here, I visualize that my head is the hot balloon, and I'm lighter and lighter, and also my chest, and it lifts me up without any effort,
Mm.
without without stress, and then body become literally uplifted, and we are smooth and happy. And this is I think that one of the most important thing what I would like to share with your listeners, with your
Mm. I like the effortlessness of the uplifting piece, and it almost like there has to be a surrendering to the effortlessness of the expansion. That it doesn't work. Contraction plus contraction doesn't equal expansion.
I'm also a dancer, and it helps me to dance. Or I'm also a warrior. I'm working as a, as a doorman. Yeah, and
Mm,
if I approach to people like this, I do not stress them, because the
mm,
tension in the air, it actually help to conflict escalate. So I want de-escalate conflict. Therefore, I have to approach as relaxed as possible, but not weak. So
mhm.
I'm coming with this expanding power, yeah, and then I'm asking people with love from my heart, with happiness, and how I can help them. And this is very good to for conflict management. It is. I think that doormen or bouncers supposed to be working with this energy, because that helps them quite a lot. And
Well, I think.
also, if I'm able to cope with my stress, with my condensing power, I'm going somewhere, and if I touch somebody with the lightness and with expansion, I'm going to change his quality. So if I touch somebody who is condensed, I can actually expand him again with my consciousness. And with relax, I relax him and expand him. And then there was where if I join to the conflict between two people and I expand them, the conflict disappear.
Hmm. Well, and it translates well to the emotional state of a person when stress is just the byproduct of like that fear programming, that those fearful thoughts, and then fear fear is not conquered by more fear, right? So you shifting where your mind goes, your body will follow. So that's where the heart math does a lot of this, but also like gratitude practice would be an easy example of how can I shift my emotional state by choosing a different, not staying in the fear programming, but picking another more expansive inner emotional state. And even in the mind, from rigid thinking, black and white thinking, very limited, like you can almost feel the body contract with that style of thought, that as you go into a more expanded thought process, you're able to see a much larger picture. And I'm wondering if it would be easier for people that struggle with accessing more expansive emotional states, or just not knowing how to access more expanded mental states, if they are able to start with a physical body first as the teacher, to learn the process of what it feels like to expand in their own physical body, that their mind and their emotional states might naturally just fall in line?
Mhm.
Or do they all have to
Very,
be worked with independently?
uh, our body immediately affect our emotions. Yeah.
Say that again?
So our body,
Mm,
quality of our body immediately affect
mm,
our emotions.
yes.
Yeah. So in on my courses, I'm I give people example.
Mm-hmm.
Visualize that you have any your life problem, yeah, any
Yeah.
stressful situation.
Mm.
Visualize your stressful situation. I don't know, like for example, that I have not money for mortgage. That how I
Mm-hmm.
pay my mortgage. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
problem. Yeah, and now I visualize that I have not money for mortgage, and now I condense my body,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have same problem, and I expand my body. And the problem also expanding and condensing. If I'm condensed, the problem looks very big. And if I expand, the problem looks smaller. So it immediately change our
Mm.
emotions. Our emotions and expansion and condensing of body is linked together. As I say, if somebody shoot behind you from gun, you immediately condense. And when you see your friends which you haven't seen for ages, I haven't seen you, yeah. Or kids when a birthday or on Christmas you give them present, they're happy, and the expansion and condensing is immediately going there. And vice versa, if we are able to expand and condense our body, immediately our emotion is different. I tested on myself many times. And here we're going to other way how we expand and condense. And it's our vision, it's
Mm.
our eyes. Eyes is linked to the brain from all physical body, probably the most closely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And problem is that nowadays when we are reading, watching TV, mobiles, etc., we have focus vision. And focus vision is already part of condensing power.
Mm.
So the focus vision is condensed vision, we could say.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to expand our vision, expand our eyes, like there is going to peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep our body and our mind more expand is very helpful and healthy to expand. So if I'm working in front computer for a longer time, then I take break and I
Mm-hmm.
expand my vision. I switch to peripheral vision and I expand my body. And that's very, very helpful. So the vision is important. But I don't say that one is the expand is good and content is bad. We need both.
Mm-hmm.
Both is good. But we need to bring it to balance. So don't spend 99% of time when we have open eyes with focus vision. But go to expanding vision as much as we can. Yeah, so if I'm going to nature, I expand my vision. And if I expand my vision, I'm open. I'm expand and I see uh, the, 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 the energy from the trees or from the sun. It's flowing into me more. Expand means also open. And condense means close. So if I close, the beauty from the world around me, it doesn't flow to me. So in the morning, what I'm doing, especially if it's nice weather, if it's the sun, I'm going to the garden and I expand to the sky. I expand like this without t-shirt. If it's sunny, just in the short in boxers, and I expand. I open to peripheral vision, and I take as much sun and as much beauty from the world around me inside me. I open myself, and I'm also more connected
Mm-hmm.
to the nature. And when I close, when I focus, When I focus my vision and I look at sun, it can burn my eyes. But if you expand to peripheral, it will not hurt your eyes. So it's very good. But if I'm close, the beauty or the sun energy is not flowing into me. So if we it is also a like massive mental affect. If I'm close, I have tendency to be scared and stressed, and I have tendency to fight with other people. So from closing position, I see other people around me like my enemy, and I have tendency to fight with them. His enemy, fight, 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 fight. But if I open myself, if I expand, I open to collaboration, I open my heart, I open my mind, and I see other people like people with who I can collaborate together. And then I have less tendency to fight. We are fighting because we are close. I'm pretty sure that today, if people in Ukraine and Russia, there would be more open and there would be more expanded. There wouldn't be war. There is everywhere where is war because people are condensed and scared. And from this condensing point of view, we are fighting each other. So let's expand and we will live in peace. I believe it.
So what would be, I completely agree with you. And as you're talking, I can see how it's like universal principles. It is down onto a cellular level all the way up to a universal, like the universe. You can apply that constriction and expansion piece to it. And you're absolutely right. We need both of them. We absolutely need both of them. But first being aware that that process is happening, then secondly, intentionally working with both sides of it like a muscle, like a skill. And so you can employ intentional expansion or intentional contraction when it is appropriate to the setting in front of you or to what it is that you're applying it to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So both is good. Like okay, oxygen is very important for us. So inhale is so important to bring oxygen to the body. But same important than inhale is also exhale. You need exhale to inhale. So same is with expansion and condension. We cannot say that one is good and one is bad. So if I wake up, I expand. And if I'm going to sleep, I condense. I'm going and I close. Same like a sunflower. Yeah. In the morning, expand and on the evening, close. And it condenses. So we are like sunflowers. And there is also seasonal. So during the summer, we are more expand and more open. And during the winter, we are more condensed and we are more closed. Or if I'm ill, yeah, if I'm ill, I'm going to bed and I condense, I close myself to accumulate the energy. And when I'm healthy, I expand again. So use it in the right moment. Be aware to feel this quality, how it's going through us, and then to use it. And then we can also replace lots of power. We create lots of tension because we use just muscles and we don't use this expanding and condensing. Yeah, that's super helpful because I can use much less muscles if I'm using expanding and condensing power. Like for example, my body posture is very relaxed to compare with other people because just keep my body structure here. I need less muscles because I'm using the uplifting power of inner fire. Inner fire is life energy, is vital energy. we can call it chi or jiva or different way. It's the energy, and the energy it can lifting us. So if most of people, if you push them to the chest, they are usually immediately going to resist. They create counter structure. That's quite normal. And if they're not, you push them, they're coming like this. But if you push me, I'm going like this. My body is soft, and accept your touch. Accept like this. It's not going to resist. And that's the liquid quality which going together with this concept expand and condensing, is that we do not resist, we accept. Because every resistance creates stress. So if I accept everything, then the surrounding doesn't. I don't create so much stress. Yeah, or I'm going, for example, and I don't notice, and I hit the corner of the building or tree or whatever. Yeah. So if I'm stiff, it can break my shoulder. But if I'm liquid, it happens something like this, and I flow with. So if we are more relaxed and more expand, then we have stress, much less stress. You know, it's lots of gurus which say that, oh, we have to accept it, etc. But then you touch him, and his body doesn't accept your touch, and his body resists, is stiff. So if you really accept, also your body accept, because body is a reflection of our mind. The same quality as has our mind has our body, and we can change way of our mind with changing quality of body. It's linked together, and you can change one and affect other, or change this and affect.
How would you suggest to somebody to, because I think this is a really difficult thing for people to get in everyday life, is acceptance, or to be receptive, to receive, like even just to receive love, receive kindness, receive a compliment. It's not just the conflict, but it's even the good things to accept or receive. How would you coach somebody around increasing their ability to be more receptive and be more accepting?
Through the touch, seriously, through the touch, that you touch somebody and don't resist, accept that body start to be supple and relax. I tell you one story. When I first time met my system master, Vladimir Vasiliev, he got a very strong punch, and I didn't understand how it's possible that he got so strong punch. And I asked him, Master Vladimir, could you explain that, why you have so strong punch? And I expect that he said, like, because I take the power from ground or from hips or something like this, like is in most of other martial arts. And he smiled at me. He said, from relax. What do you mean from relax? I said, how is possible from relax? And he told me, touch my chest. And I was going to touch his chest, like, and I was shocked. I was scared. It was like if I touch a ghost. His body wasn't there. His body didn't resist to myself. I had feeling like if I touch just hanging t-shirt like this. It was like t-shirt without body. So my fingers like was going deeply into his chest, and his body doesn't resist. He just stay, and he was smiling like this. And all my hair, I have goosebumps around all body, and my hair, if I have longer, it would be like this. Yeah, everything was like, I was shocked. I was scared because before I never met anybody with this quality. Yeah, and of course that when I realized what's going on, I start to learn systema from Vladimir, but also from other masters. And not just systema. I'm open-minded guy, so as I say, I'm studying also qigong, and I'm studying also Cossack tradition, what is very systema actually based on Cossack tradition. And in Cossack tradition, there survive very ancient knowledge. Yeah, there survived knowledge which comes from, probably, I had this feeling, I feel this quality from our Vedic roots. Because before then Christianity comes to our Indo-European civilization, we used to be branch of Vedic civilization, and I feel the Vedic spirit survive in Cossack tradition, and this in Cossack tradition, the inner fire and the expansion, it's come from Cossack tradition. So it is. I'm glad that the Vedic knowledge didn't survive just in the Indian yoga branch, but also survive also in this Slavic or Cossacks branch, where survive a little bit different quality than in his yoga. So therefore, it's good to study both and synergize them each other. So it's not just one Indian branch where survive Vedic knowledge, but lots of survive also in our proverbs, etc. So also in Europe survive something from our Vedic roots. Yeah, unfortunately we call it like pagans, like with not nice word. But the pagans, it is not pagans. It was very high level civilization. It was Vedic civilization.
Hmm. Hmm. Fascinating. Well, Tibi, could you go into a little bit about how you put all of this together into your coaching program, how people can take this to the next level with you and learn more and go a little bit deeper with this work and with you?
Yeah, before I do this,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention a tool pravilo, which comes again from the Cossack tradition,
Okay.
and it's tool which looks the same principle can be used positively and negatively. On the West, it was used quite negatively, like a rack for torture. Yeah, but you can hang down, so you have straps on the wrist and on the legs, and it expands you to every direction. So it is one of the best tool to expand is pravilo. So I'm using also pravilo, but pravilo is not everything, but it can brings you to such strong expansion how you with visualization, if you are not training for years, hardly get. So pravilo is one of the best tool, and it's physical. However, it's not just pravilo, but we should also training this expansion and condensing with our mind, and do this kind of a meditation to expand and meditation to condense. And when I realized that how powerful tool is this expansion and condensing, uh, I make the program for stress management, which I call expand to the stress. And I share this knowledge from system or Cossacks tradition and from qigong. I share it in this program where I'm it based on 5 basic keys: expand, do not condense; relax, do not tense; accept, do not resist; flow, do not crystallize your tissue and your mind; and breathe smoothly, do not restrict your breathing. So these 5 points can help everybody to cope with stress, but even if you are not stressed, to bring you to different quality and increase your happiness. And then you flow with your surrounding, because you are really like water. I'm doing also contact improvisation, dancing, and it helps me to be there much smoother and flow with other dancers around me. Uh, Unfortunately, this concept is usually teaching in qigong or in martial arts, but how many people are interested about martial arts? It's very small percentage of people. So my aim is bring this knowledge to everybody, because everybody deserves to understand power of expanding and condensing. I have 2 programs. One is the stress management, expand to the stress, and then is also team harmonization, where people can flow around rather than working like robots. And if people learn to flow around like water, each other, that's also affect their way of thinking. So they start to be more collaborative, and the team flow better and is more efficient. So I'm pretty sure that this is also super useful for companies which are looking for how to increase the productivity of work, how to make their team smoother and more harmonious. Yeah, be liquid, accept, expand, open to each other, open to cooperate together. So I'm pretty sure that in the future people will realize the power of expanding, condensing, and the liquid quality of body and mind, and it will be applied in business, in companies, in sports, in dance, and everywhere, because it's so powerful tool that everybody who apply it get a massive advantage.
It's pretty amazing that you're bringing all of this, and I hadn't thought about that before. I have history with martial arts myself, and that is one of the only places that some of these concepts are contained or within those communities. And to be able to have access to the teachings and being able, not just the teachings, but how to actually apply them is pretty important, I believe, for humanity in general, because it we are at a time where those teachings really need to be more front and center across, not just in that martial art community or the qigong community, but as a whole.
We are talking about a few basic aspects, but there is much more knowledge
Mm.
which I'm bringing to people. So who's interested can contact me, and you can Google me. It's Tibi Moravcik. Um, may I say my contact, or you put it on the video, or?
It'll be in the episode notes, that all the ways that people can contact you will be in the episode notes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
so it will be there. And if you are interested about this, like, I'm so happy that I'm a channel through which this knowledge is flowing. You know, I don't think that I'm like Superman, and now I can bring you. The knowledge is already here, and it's just flowing through me, and I'm I'm so happy that I can be somebody who can bring this knowledge to other people, because that makes me very happy.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for doing that, and as well as being here.
My pleasure, and thank you for the chance to share this knowledge with other people.
Thank you.
Thank you.